The lawyer for a proposed class action lawsuit says his case against the Northwest Company, or NWC, could be wide-reaching across northern Canada. The suit alleges millions of dollars in federal subsidies to the NWC to reduce the high price of nutritious foods and essential goods in their northern stores are being diverted from customers.
If it is true, it is a brazen act on behalf of a company who holds the literal lives of people in these communities in their hands.
Food prices can be 2 to 3 times higher in the north, in part due to shipping costs. The federal government's Nutrition North Canada program, or NNC, has an annual budget of around $130 million to help subsidize northern food costs. Recipients are contracted to pass 100% of the subsidy on to customers through subsidized product pricing. The suit alleges NWC receives about half of that annual budget for their North Mart and Northern stores, but allege that millions of dollars are going into NWC's earnings instead of making food cheaper.
There was a former employee who was recording these things to her undying credit as evidence which will certainly be advanced as part of the class action. We had somebody on the ground, an insider, so to speak, who would be able to give that information, and my understanding is she's not alone.
Every person who has shopped at NWC's grocery stores since the subsidy program began in 2011 could receive compensation. There are 122 affected communities named in the suit, located in 6 provinces and 2 territories. Lawyer Stephen Cooper says the intention of the subsidy program isn't just to make healthy food more financially accessible, but also more competitive against cheaper and less nutritious alternatives. He says if that subsidy isn't being applied in full, families are left choosing less healthy foods due to costs, and their health suffers.
And if that subsidy is being diverted, if that is true, then that is horrific. That is the worst case of corporate profit over human interest that one can imagine.
The allegations have not been tested in court. The suit was filed in Manitoba, where NWC is headquartered, and has both Manitoban and Nunavummiut plaintiffs. The Manitoba court needs to decide if a class action is an appropriate pursuit for the claim, as opposed to thousands of individual filings. This is the second suit of its kind against the company for similar reasons, filed within weeks of each other. Cooper says the more people involved early on in the uncertified class action means more information being shared to support the claim.
This is a really good example of how class actions should work, because the individual may have difficulty pointing to individual items and dollars. But if you want to provide your own experiences, that's extremely helpful to us.
Cooper says his personal experience as a former resident of Northwest Territories and Nunavut will help advance the case. You can reach out to Cooper for more information by calling 1-800-994-7477 or emailing steve@cooperregal.ca. Sav Jonesa, APTN National News, Winnipeg.